I'm Roxy.
I'm Tom.
And we're Frostbeard Studio. We always wanted to run an art studio together, and it sort of started off with me personally trying to sell my pottery and then candles at just local craft fairs and local shops like that. And then it sort of just whirlwind into just being focused mainly on candles. But this is something we've always wanted to be entrepreneurs and own our own business.
Our initial goal with our business was just to be our own bosses, to make our own schedules, to be kind of free from a mundane sort of 9-to-5 job. And we ended up discovering kind of a unique product with our candles that was totally something we wanted to do for fun, and that has become our entire business. It's taken over everything. And now we have 9-to-5 jobs that we've kind of built ourselves. And so the mission has really become finding the things that we really are good at making and that other people really love. What is the origin of Frostbeard, the name, the brand? It's originally named after a friend of ours who bikes all year round, and we live in Minnesota, so it gets really, really cold. And he bikes how long? Like 20 miles a day?
Each way.
20 miles each way. And he's got a huge beard normally, but when he bikes, it just gets covered in frost. Totally, completely.
Looks like shredded wheat.
Looks like shredded wheat. And when it's really cold out, it turns into like a big icicle. It's super cool. And so when we were trying to come up with a name for our art studio, this is when we were doing ceramics, we were like, well, we don't have any like clever ceramic puns or anything like that. So we just want something more fun and kind of nerdy.
Minnesotan. And also Minnesotan, yeah.
Yeah, like specific to where we live. So that's how it started. And then it wasn't until later that we started doing, book candles. So maybe if we were clever earlier on, we had a different name, but we still like it a lot.
I think the brand is very important because it's us. Like, we are the brand. When I do Instagram posts, like, I talk in first person, I talk about the books that I read, and the candles are all products of things that I like. I won't make a candle based on a book I don't like or I haven't read. We are the brand. We want to make sure that people know that we think reading is cool, if that's not obvious enough. And reading is important, so that's one of the things we're trying to promote. And by making products that, make people enhance their reading experience and make people happy. It's an interesting thing selling candles online. We do sell small sample sizes, but a lot of times people will just buy a big candle not knowing what it smells like, just strictly based on the name. And so that's part of the branding as well. And I think if you can make a product that people relate to, that they think is funny or it's nostalgic for them or something, they're gonna like it more. And then if it smells good as well, like, that's a bonus.
I think the other side of branding is you just want to look professional. You want to have, a nice website, you want to have a good logo just so people know you're trustworthy. And it starts out small, like our original candle designs are just a little black and white sticker on a mason jar, basically, jelly jar. And we've just, updated our design every couple of years to make it look better and better. And, it's word of mouth that spreads our business. That's our whole business model, really. Like, marketing is kind of secondary in that regard. So it's all about just like interacting with people, making good stuff. That's key, having a good product.
Mm-hmm. The community, when we moved in, we wanted to reach out somehow. We wanted to be an active part of it, and one of the ways that people have expressed their interest in us is by having us do workshops, and people are sort of intrigued by the idea of a candle business and a sort of like non-traditional business, and it's an old craft. So the community here, everything's about making, and so they want to know, like, oh, do you have classes? Do you have open studios? Can we come watch you make things? So it's fun for the kids to come see how something that started out as a hobby could become a business. And then they also get to see, the fun actually making a product step by step.
I think part of building community is being very honest with your audience and not trying to be too much about just the image or kind of being too hip or too pretentious or anything like that. It's just, our brand is all about like sincerity, and like, we love reading, we love art, we like making stuff handmade. We show our appreciation for people, and I think that shines through. I think people can see we're genuine, normal human beings, and that's very important.
think one of the reasons Tom and I make such good business partners is we sort of have different styles of making things. Like I will just make something and put it out there, and then he'll refine it so it like looks nice. Like as he mentioned, we started off with just like straight up handwritten labels, you know, in jars I was getting from the grocery store, and it didn't look great, you know.
That's fine.
But it's like, it's fun to look back at where we started and where we are now.
I think it's a good lesson though. It's just like, just make something, and even if it's like not that, you know, fancy and people might like the name, then you'll know right away. Like,
right.
Easy.
It's easy to
find out, yeah.
It's easy to stand there and want to make something perfect.
Yeah.
And keep tweaking it and changing it.
And
but
not show anybody.
And not show anybody.
Perfectly done, yeah.
But what we found is it's important to just put it out there, and people are gonna let you know.
The challenges are ever changing. Early on, it was shipping. Shipping was really hard to figure out. It's so expensive to ship a candle. They're heavy, they're fragile. And so that was a bunch of tests. You know, we got all these different boxes. For a while, we tried putting them in tubes and like cutting tubes with saws, and that didn't work. It's really messy. And eventually, we found a system that worked great, and you know, we were like, oh, this is perfect. But then, you know, another problem would pop up, and honestly, selling online was a huge technical challenge. Trying to find like a good way to stand out. It was easy early on when we were the first book candle company, but now there's maybe dozens of them. And so, you know, making your own website is important. Social media and all marketing, blah, 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 is super important, but all time consuming. So, you know, we kind of take it one at a time and hire people where we can to help out.
I think a lot of the challenges for us, specifically as a married couple, were we both like had our ideas and we both valued our opinions. And it was a matter of like balancing that, like how do we do one thing and make each other happy and not get on each other's nerves when we're working together 24/7. And it really helped. We kind of drew some boundaries where it's like, okay, we're not gonna work after 6 o'clock or something, or we're not gonna work at home. We're not gonna talk about stressful things on our dog walk and like stuff like that. So as a business owner, it's really hard to separate the work-life balance. I think one of the things that I have learned is like you delegate where you can, and then also saying no to things is kind of hard, especially when you're starting out. People will want custom items. People will want you to work craft fairs, you know, 6 weeks in a row and stuff like that. And you just want to say yes, 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 because you want your business to grow. But realistically, you need to know your own limits. And so say yes to what's important, but say no when you need to.
I think I have maybe 2 important pieces of advice. And number 1 is just try to find your niche, your audience. Try to find something really specific, because that's where you're gonna really succeed. And the second part is just use the internet, find all the tools you can, find all the resources you can. There's so much free information, and people want to help you. If you ask for help, people will help you.
Yeah, I mean, the finding your niche thing is so important. It's making something unique. If you go online and search for candles or any other handmade item, there's already thousands and hundreds, you know, tons of people already doing it. So what can you do to stand out? That's what you need to ask yourself. Well, how can I make something that is, you know, not only a good product, but is unique, that you can't find anywhere else?
I think Frostbeard Studio today is it's our livelihood. It's our opportunity to, you know, do what we can to make something that will support us as human beings, and probably like the biggest, you know, influence we'll have on other people. So it's an art project, it's a business, it's a handmade thing.
It's our life.
It's our life. It's a lot of things. So, you know, we kind of reevaluate every now and then. And we're going through a point where I'd say we were trying to make something sustainable that can help other artists in our neighborhood, you know, influence people to maybe read more. Our mission is to, you know, promote reading and literacy and all that sort of stuff. So I think that's probably our biggest focus going forward.
I think Frostbeard Studio is very much, as I mentioned, like our life. It's us. It's our lifestyle. We are the brand. So it's, you know, it's fun to every now and again and sit back and sort of reflect upon like what we've built over the last 6 years. And all the time I'm just like, I can't believe, you know, I own a candle company. Like, I'm a candle maker. That's so weird, you know, but it's a hobby that turned into a business, and we're just going to keep trying to sustain it as long as we can. As long as people keep buying candles and reading books, I think we're going to be okay. But, you know, it's also really fun to reflect on, you're making these things and then sending them out into the world, and just thinking about all the people that are like supporting us and are part of our community. It's overwhelming, honestly, to see that kind of support for a small business.